forest from the trees. There is a no difference in many ways from what has been going on since time immemorial for what is happening in this time today. So here we are, we're seeing paid mercenaries again, you know, hashtag ICE apostrophe S, ISIS. So thank you, Father, for the ability to have that eye to see what's going on. So I don't see how America's the safest place. I don't see at all how that's even a possibility where they're just street sweeping people. And so I thought I'd put some time in here. I could get stuff done again today here, but I wanted to put some work in for the ministry and put it down. You know, is this Al Qaeda? Is this the Mujahideen? Basically, this is just a bunch of paid contractors. Uh, um, you know, this is just, it's happening. It's happening. It's happening. This is the 11-4, 11-0-0-4. Remember, zeros are in gematria, they don't have any values. So the 11 executive order 11-0-0-4 here, it's happening. I'm not, there's no prediction. It's happening. I'm not predicting. It's happening. I can't blow the horn any louder now because it's actually happening. So remember, I blew the horn before it was happening, you know, in the level. They're just outright by executive order, which is illegal. Like tariffs can't be made by presidents, nor can executive orders, is all unconstitutional. So somebody's got to stand up and speak up about the apostasy, the hypocrisy, the abomination, the incorporation. So he doesn't. It's hard to believe that it continues, you know, and it's going to slave all nations. So it's not just going to be this American. Well, I can't, but they can, Americans, but American. But it's because of what it's become. It was once. I mean, it never was, you know, the greatest. You know, just part of the process, like anything. We got to get to this final judgment, final horn. So it'll come. It's moving fast at a breakneck speed. Warp, warp speed, huh? Let's change time. Well, it's not like any other ministry. I know that. It's show them to the narrow way. If they don't want to hear it, you can't turn a goat into a sheep. You're not supposed to sup with vipers, cast your pearls in the mud. So you know that. I mean, you don't have to be mean, but what do you do when your buddy's a Satanist and you're a man of the Most High and you go fishing? What do you talk about? You know, somebody, all they do is watch football. They don't ever think about anything. Remember that football, you know, kind of. What do you have in common with somebody like that? You know, so what somebody wants to be your fishing buddy one day and then stick you in the behind the next day. You know, so careful who you go fishing with. You know, where you cast your. We're supposed to be fishers of men, so just let Father be the one who condemns. Just be the net. The net not knows what it catches and only does the job of the net. So what can you do? Can't turn a goat into a sheep. It's not even possible. So if it were, well, then we'd have free will. You could probably be saved, and there'd probably be such thing as luck. And well, then maybe then God would be in the sky. It'd be some sky daddy Jesus or something like that. Remember, so it's hard to relate with people. Connection, it really is. We don't make that connection with many. You know, it's just we're set apart, and that's just the way it works. So what can you do? Just show them to the narrow way. Show them to the straight gate. And if they can't, if they're not willing to narrow self, then you know, cast them out, rebuke them. So that's all you can do. There's no other way. Hados and the Broadway. So if they're on that Broadway, drunk on the world, and you know, mixing all this worldly things and doing worldly things and not suffering, then they're just a Jezebel. And they have a Jezebel spirit. So that's the truth, and they don't like it. But that's why he sets his bride apart because they're condemned and crucified, and they suffer, and it's daily. So show them to the narrow way. Once again, it's not. I'm glad Father made it very. He really simplified things. We're not under all these laws anymore. We're not under the law. That's the beautiful thing about being the bride, is you're not under the law. So not if they're not, constitutional, that's for sure. In the Constitution, it says repugnant, but especially in this, remember, we're not under the Old Testament, under the Torah. So most people aren't going to want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. They want to hear a bunch of candy Jesus. Remember, sucker Jesus? They get lulled by the candy. It feels good, and dopamine's them. It's their dope, it's their drug. So they're drugged out Jesus. So, whatever, it's got them in a stupor. They don't ask no questions. There's like dumb, freedom Jesus. Remember? There's no, hey, we came up with a new one today. Freedom Jesus. You got the freedom Jesus. There's no such thing as free will. So there's no such thing as freedom. And there's no such thing as luck. So freedom. You could lead them to the deep underground military bases, right? The ant people, the Hopi. So as is above, so is below. They've got their idea, their eyes to the skies, their lies. Visual voodoo, they tell them by the stars, are fake, equinox, not eclipse. So that's not part of the node, but they don't know anything about this celestial firmament. So what can you do? They don't know the celestial gospel either. And if you tell them that the gospel's in the stars, they're going to call you a freak. What's wrong with you? I say, well, the stars talk to me. So do my walls. See, each one of them is from a different place in time. And so, but hey, never mind. No, it's not born again. It's born from above. You can't say that again. Please don't ever say that again. Connection. There's no such thing as being born again. So, you have to be born from above. It doesn't say again. Again is once. Oh, I got born again. Like I got saved, and you have to endure the end to be saved, and you must be born from above daily. So you've heard me say that multiple times. So let's help us correct ourselves with that. Nobody gets born again. That's like I bought some Belief Jesus on a shelf. Jesus. Belief is like again. See, once Jesus. The once Jesus. Sit down on Sunday, Jesus. One day, Sunday, fun day. Woo! Cracker Jesus, baby. So you got it. We got that re-erect or unperverted. We switched to unperverted, that dialect glossy or alien in here. Remember, that's alien to me. There's no such thing as born again. You can't be born again. Hallelujah for that, huh? You got to die to self daily. Carry your cross daily. You must be born from above, without flesh, daily. So, above, not in the sky. Remember, the high priest, he's the high priest. He's the one who severed the head. He's the one who took over as the judge. The scepter shall not depart from Judah. The scepter, the one who holds the inheritance. The high priest. Remember? Zedek. Melchizedek in scripture, right? Jupiter, the lion from a tribe of Judah. Leo, the king. The scepter shall not depart from Judah till lion, Leo. Shiloh returns. Hallelujah. So most people don't have the celestial firmament, bis, or gospel in their brain, skull at the top of their house, head, high priest. It's some other Jesus. Remember, sucker Jesus? Don't ask no questions. They don't know. So that's what we do. Iron sharpens iron. He's the one with the scepter, the sword. Isn't it beautiful? The gospel. So be born from above. That's right. It's not a dipping. There's no dipping. There's no dipping. It's a process, and it's not a dipping. Dipping's once, like being water dipped. You must be held in the brine connection. Be put in there so you get overcome, like this husk, your skin inside, baptized inside and out, like Noah's told to baptize the ark with a red baptizo, red pitch or stain. And then you must be completely not dipped. We can go get dipped every day. Dip, dip, dip. Me and Connection, we like to get dipped. We go get water dipped every day because, well, we just love it. It's like dipping and taking a dip. We don't go skinny and go naked, but we dip in the water every day because we just love. We figured the best thing we could do is just be baptized every day because we just love it so much. We're going to be so holy and pure when we get there. No, you're not. You're never going to be overcome unless you don't get put through the trials and the suffering and the fire. So baptizo is a process. Remember, to be bapto is to be with the red pitch. I said baptizo, but that's stain or pitch or blood or dye. So, but you must be completely overcome. Do you understand? The first stage of the Hunger Games, disguised as ice. That's cool. All right, I never watched that, but I can probably agree. I'm gonna have to go watch a little bit some blogs on that now and see a little bit more. I'm sure there was something to do with that, but hashtag ISIS, ICE''S. Hashtag that out across the nation. You can give the credit to High Desert Faith and Truth Ministries. Put all donations to the ministry. So hashtag ISIS. We've got our modern day contractors, private, well-paid mercenaries in this corporation. The American, but they can. I like to kick that can down the road. That's what they do with their debt. So 38 trillion coming up in days. They're printing 1.5 in every 100, I think now. So, woo, that's unsustainable after 33, right? That's an absolute mathematical impossibility to ever pay back. So, hey, payback. Remember, prognosko is to have foreknowledge of. Redemption means you're going to come back and pick up something that you already bought. So, immerse. See, there we go. See, take it. You must be put down and completely overcome. You have to be immersed and held into the bride. If you start out as a cucumber, see, Connection and I are cucumbers. We think we're going to become pickles, and we go dip ourselves every day in the brine, but then we get out. We just take a little dipping. Woo! We're going to be pickles, baby. We're going to be pickles. You're never going to become pickled until you're held down into the brine and completely overcome. To be completely overcome. So it's not a matter of a dipping. There's no dipping. So bad. To be overcome, because if you have one hole in your, like Noah would have left one pinhole, the ship would have sank. We wouldn't be here. Inside and out, he said, correct? That's right. A captain can't sleep if he knows there's a pinhole leak in his ship. So let him hold you down in the brine, in the fire. So, isn't that a blessing? So there we go. You're not getting out of here. Yeah, you're not getting out of the jar. Don't even try. There's no way to get out of the jar. The water's above and the water's below. So look out below. Hell's below your feet. Don't think that hell's below your feet, because you are sadly mistaken with the definition of hell. It's not below your feet. That's for sure. Earth, not below your feet. Hell, not below your feet. So, you're not you're not on a plane. Why not? We don't do the spinning, twisting, forward, perverting, corkscrewing through time and space balls in here either. So I don't care about shapes. People, they want to stick their square peg in my round hole, but I'm like, get away from me there, Nimrod. So with their phallic worship, there's steeple, here's the church, here's the steeple. Oh my gosh, they think they're spinning. Well, their minds, that's like Saturn, that's like 5G whiz, like spewing orange G whiz waves of towers of microwaves. Get it? Nimrod, see? Squirt towers. They love their paddles. They get spanked by the G whiz. Smack that down on the floor. They do it doggy style, like the Dog Star series. It's their light. So it's all right. So me and Stoner, we're gonna get dipped every day. We're gonna go water dip ourselves, and we're gonna become pickles. But we're no. So remember, no, it's not again. It's above, and to be baptizo, that is to be with the red pitch or stain, or he tells us to have our blood, to be washed with blood, to have our garments white without blemish. How are you going to get your garments white washed with red blood, huh? Woo, baby. It's like when they threw the goat off the cliff, huh? Kind of like a stoning. These people are too stoned out of their mind. Not connection, just, talking about the people that are on the other cannabis, or on the candy. Jesus, remember? The one that was left out of the bloodline, the one, remember Esau, he killed his brother Nimrod. There's that blue bloods, huh? Copper body, copper like a fang, like a copper head. Do snakes. Remember? Oh, got to stick the hollow needle in you twice. You gotta let the bite in. Let the bite in. He let the bite in. He said, "You knew I was a snake before you let me in," and then he let the bite in. Hashtag that around the whole wide world, north, east, west, and south, like he sends the angels to the four corners of this rock that we walk. Are you spinning on a block? Spinning block camp. Are you in the spinning block camp, or are you in the American Pie camp, the band ball? Stick your Peter Pan flute in somebody else's pie here, buddy. Yeah, that's right. You can keep your lightsabers to yourself. You guys are trying to trade lightsabers in your ice holes. Keep your lightsaber away from my ice hole. Or, well, in fact, it's cold. It's hell. That's what Elton said, remember? The guy that he wants you to try. He's come on by. There we go. Rocket Man, burning out his fuse up here alone. I'm not a singer, so I apologize. That was, boy, I didn't hit that note, did I? But anyways, you hear what I'm saying. Mr. Rocket Man, huh? Sending rockets, curved rockets around the arc of the firmament, right? Glad I'm not a bird. I bounce off the firmament. So, good stuff. Love it. You're rubbing it. 2 counts of it in the parking lot or whatever. That's what you get for pulling your own chain. Pornea, serving yourself with your rod. Remember Nimrod? Stroking your own Jesus. So, remember crackers and grape juice? You're getting drunk on the wine, aren't you? I thought maybe it was that sweet sugar sucker Jesus you got all medicated on that. Might have put something in there, and I don't think it was cannabis. It must be on some other kind of substance. I'm on the Jesus juice. How about that? You like that? I'm OCD. That's not a mental disorder. I'm carrying my cross daily. I'm on Christ. Ask yourself, WWCD. What would Christ do daily? So what would Christ do right now with these ISIS mercenaries? ICE, apostrophe S. Hashtag ICE, apostrophe S. ISIS. Hashtag that. North, east, west, and south. Spread it out to the 4 corners. All flesh, all nations. White, black, brown, red, yellow. No blue. Nobody's blue. You can hold your breath until you turn and look like Papa Smurf over there. Maybe you're Smurfette. I don't know. Maybe it's got something, you're doing it with a tree. You're hugging a tree. You're like an avatar or something. Remember, Spock was the first one to nail a blue, like a female dog, a blue bitch. Well, it wasn't a dog, but, some tri booby Jesus, maybe 3. She had 3 breasts. Was it the three bested blue booby Jesus that I saw on Star Trek? Maybe it was on Space Force or Star Wars. I'm a star boy. I don't know about you. Not the weekend. Your weekend Jesus. There you go. Your weekend Jesus. You got your weekend Jesus. You're like a National Guard, right? Oh, wait. National. Are you a national or are you a citizen? You're a corporation. Don't fool yourself. You're a corp. You're dead. You're like a statue. Remember Nimrod? Ha ha, tower, phallic worship. Remember the square pole? We're trying to stick it in my round hole. There you go. You couldn't concentrate longer than orange juice. And they think I'm crazy. The man's nuts. Grab him. I'm like, hey, this is a spiritual testament, not physical. Keep your hands to yourself. Some of the greatest minds were nuts, huh? I just got called nutty. Nutty by a judge. Nutty. I'm like, oh, nutty. Like a chipmunk. I'm like always trying to get a nut. Like a squirrel, huh? got a brain the size of a pea, and nobody needs to tell it to put up nuts for the winter, huh? Stores. Where do you shop? You shop at the Walmart, the Chuck E. Cheese. That's all that man is to me. Just Chuck E. Cheese token, some clerk, like the guy at the front of the door. Papers? Shut up. You got me on camera. Leave. Don't talk to me. Actually, I just walk right through there. No, thank you if I say anything. So I've been doing it for, actually, it looked on my Facebook page or something like 2013 or 14, I think it was. It was 14 or something, walking out of, I think it was Kmart. And there was a cop there trying to stop me at the door. I'm like, you're going to accuse me of stealing something? If not, no thank you. Well, all right, bye. Walked away. And they like to stop everybody, remember, at the door. They started that crap, long ago. So people forgotten encroaching on me. You got me on camera, dumbass. You got me coming in the parking lot. You got me in my buggy pushing everything in the damn. Used to just be the one over the top of maybe one at the door, and, yeah. They're mercenaries. See, we had mercenaries before we even had ICE. They're just paid contractors. They work for the corporation, but these current ones that are running around are literally getting paid by private prisons. So not much has changed. So I don't care what people think of me. I know I took an oath to the Constitution, not some flag. I white mess with the flag, and then I burn it, piss on it, and stomp on it, and laugh at you because you're pissed off about a piece of cloth. You sound like some red and blue Democrat Republican fighting over a rag. I saw my brothers that I grew up with, be friends since elementary school, junior high school and high school. They didn't call it middle school back there, but they did. Overnight, they gave one a red rag and one a blue rag, and they gave these one prostitutes and guns and drugs, and they gave this one drugs, and then they just started fighting with each other, mortal enemies over a street, right in the middle, divided it over a rag. People are idiots. You can't turn a goat into a sheep, so it doesn't matter. You're not. These people wouldn't understand what a tyrant is, what tyranny is, what this is worse than Germany. This is worse. This is way worse than they had it then. Oh, well, they burnt books back down. Now they burned my counts. How many counts have I taken down? How many counts have I been locked in 12 years of blogging? How many counts can I not even get into? That's called Stasi, Svasti, Nazi Germany is what it is. This is worse. Papers! License, registration, where are you coming from? You don't need a license to travel. If you're operating in a private capacity and not in commerce, you don't need. That's constitutionally protected by the Supreme Court. That's encroaching on your Fourth Amendment. What are you going to do? Drive on people's private property? You're going to get fucking shot, you idiot. Oh, try that. Oh, I can't drive on the street, so I'm going to drive on all these people's private. First house, you get blown up. No, out here in the country, they'd probably shoot, That's the stupidest thing. Oh, well, if you don't pay your taxes, you can't drive on the roads. Shut up. You pay taxes, you idiot. You're engaged in commerce. You're commerce. I'm not. Remember, I'm not a statute. I don't go on dates with men, follow mandates, follow codes, or those are for businesses. Those are for commerce. You're a merchant number is what you are. And that's why they've taken over you came through the canal, remember your water through your mother's, and they've adopted your bond, you call it. And that's what they sell on the stock. That's why they stock, remember, they stock the Walmart, they stake and stock, and they do that. That's, food for thought there. They staked and stocked Christ, and he carried that stock to a tree, right? And they pegged him to that yoke. And who are you yoking with? I ain't yoking around. This is for real. Nobody hung on a cross. That's how much of an idiot this world is. And if you're not willing to stand up to this perverted law like Christ did, because he stood up, he is the biggest auditor, the First Amendment auditor there ever was, because he audited the First Amendment, the Torah, their Targum. That's like the corporation, their violation of this revised statutes. It was no different back then. You're just an idiot. And you don't know Christ. And if it's Christ-like to stand up to the perversion, that's the word frower. So there's no good cops because they're allowing this commerce. Crimes or criminal is a term of accounting. Remember your merchant number? Your social security card, you call it card, it's a credit. You've been bonded by birth. You're just a child. You're just an idiot. And I'm speaking to the Americans here because I have like connections from North, but he's still part of the same system, the Washington District of Criminals. So, hi, how are you? I'm high, how are you? But not by, higher than a hippie in a helicopter. I'm on the Jesus juice. Remember? We're supposed to be born from above daily. So, not up your head, but you know what I'm saying. It's all in your head, don't worry about it. Actually, he's in our hearts, but it's written on the heart of the bride. But don't worry, people are idiots. They get their blood pumping like they get all stiff like Nimrod. But I'm not here to jerk people's chain or pull their hub. They can do that themselves. That's called autonomous self-driven. Remember, we're talking about traveling. Please focus. I'm trying to drive here. Well, no, Father's the one steering the ships. I'm just joking. He's the wind in my sail. He's the one push this. Don't get mad at me. Go push somebody else. Remember, pull your own putt or whatever. Twiddle your own whatever slot. You sit on the washing machine, and I don't care what you do. But find your own pleasure somewhere else. Pleasure's worse than the pain. So I'd rather go through the pain and the suffering, by standing up and being grenaded to the face. That didn't feel good. I still maimed, assaulted, battered from the state police. My lungs are a wreck. I'm still here though, huh? They tried to kill me, and look at me, I'm still here. I got it all on video too. Proof. You want to see proof of a God? Go watch what Father can do. Shouldn't have to see. Faith is the things unseen. 100% legs on faith. But putting legs on the action on that word belief is not a thought. It's an action word. It's a verb. So you can't believe in anything. I believe is like I believe in Jesus. Shut up. There's no such thing as Jesus. You're an idiot. There is no Jesus. Fuck off. Pluck your U-bow somewhere else. Take your bow, your cover, your veil, and pull it off. That's the word apocalypse. You just happen to be blessed to step into the word revelation, and we're in that book. So welcome to the new age, But most people, many are called but oligos. So take your Jesus somewhere else. There's no such thing as Jesus. There's no such thing as God. Those are titles and translated names from the Old Testament and not written. Some of those letters never even existed. And so there was no Jesus. So there can't be no Jesus. So we're not going to argue about it, but I want to show you the point of where he said don't add, and people are so stuck on what they think they know. And I've been there before when I was young in my studies 20 years ago. I was arguing about the letter J, and brought it up many times to people, but people didn't want to listen to me. That's okay. I didn't get it right on everything, but I'm still here. Remember, they keep trying to take me down, but Father picks me up every day. I don't even want to be here myself. I don't want to be here anymore. I can't even, it's been 15 months. I can't locate my son. I can't talk to him. Don't even know if he's alive. My daughter's been kidnapped. I've reported to the police. They threatened me to throw me in jail and call me nutty when I report him murdered. Say I'm speaking gibberish. What kind of life is that? I report my son and daughter dead, raped, murder, missing, and I get told they're going to get thrown in jail for telling them that. Multiple times. So I don't want to fucking be here. So I'm thankful that Father gets me up every day and makes me get up and do this, because otherwise I wouldn't have the strength to do it. Not at all. Physically, I'm fine. Mentally, I'm okay. But spiritually, that's what's, it's hard because I'm spiritual. I'm not this flesh. The flesh is going to suffer no matter what. Obviously, you can witness it with your own eyes, but I'm thankful for the word because it inspires me every day. It inspires me to get my fourth point of contact up and do what he needs me to do. He's not done with me. When he's done with me, it might be death. I might not, again, many things see resolution to any of these things that I'm facing right now. Might just, be something I never get an answer to. And I can accept that too. So I've had to with many things in life and just move on. just the way life is. It ain't Burger King. You can't always have it your way. So I tell myself that hundreds of times. A grapist mentality. That's good. They do. They want to put hands on you and force themselves on you. So I can't not agree. Accountability. So thanks for keeping it real in here. Sucks my son has to suffer because I'm a constitutionalist. He's the one. They grenaded him too, and my daughter, because of me, because I audit my First Amendment, audit my public officials in my capacity of a private, person, and can audit my public officials in capacity, well, because they're in public, so there's no expectation of privacy. How are we going to know if they're fucking up, doing things they shouldn't be doing? That's how we know, because we always stick a camera in their face every single time, and they would stop doing what they're doing because their body cams conveniently don't work, or they don't have. Remember, the cop would not give the attorney the transcripts to the phone call where I'm reporting my daughter kidnapped, potentially raped, murdered, my son, because I found I do my own investigation, and then they turn around and threaten to throw me in jail. So, well, cool. Will you spread some of this stuff that I have? If you do, would you please get this out there? Because I probably have one of the best First Amendment audits. Take the SWAT raid, please, and spread it. Get it over to Lackluster. Get it over to Long Island. Get it over to Chile. Get it over. I don't know why I can't get any of this stuff to go over there. I can't get anybody to look at this. High impact. Brian, here's the deal. All these, I've done videos that should have already been national. This case should be one of the biggest cases in the United Corporation right now. So I honestly, I've been auditing a long time. Okay. So, please get the SWAT raid. It's set apart on it. Maybe you came in here accountability for everything happens for a reason, but please take and clip the SWAT raid and get that to everybody. Just said, there's more auditors. I just gave you the tip of the iceberg. Okay. I know there's auditors out there that can get this out. I've tried and tried and tried and tried and tried. Yeah, I've been shadow banned for years. 15 months ago, they came and SWAT raided this house because I audited. You can look, it starts with me auditing. It starts way before then. I did an audit on Josh Bezel. You have to pick up the other second part of audit because YouTube banned half of the First Amendment audit against Bezel out here. The guy, whatever, the corruption's so thick out here. This is one of the largest cases probably in the country right now, or it should be, as well as it is in the state of Oregon, because they did kidnap my daughter. Just the SWAT raid, you'd be able to tell that they came in and hit me in the face with a grenade at 45 seconds. It's hard to watch, and I'm trying to get this criminal case taken care of because they pegged me with hindering prosecution and interfering with a peace officer, when I have, under the Fourth Amendment, I have the right of affirmative defense. I have the right of, I'm not going to claim this whole constitutional, third circuit, all this other thing. I'm telling our basic stuff that, I'm a little bit different than most of the auditors. See, I'm an eternal being. I have natural, organic law of the land, Black's law, color of law. I know there's a law that's existed before any of us were here thousands of years ago, millions. It's always been here. So that's the law I put myself under. But when I First Amendment audit, I use the Constitution, and I don't go outside it, and I try not to go too far into that. None of these cops are even operating in a criminal capacity, meaning in the original Title 18 statutes, which were adjudicated through the House, Congress, and Senate. I don't bring that up. There's really the only way they could actually charge you under Title 18 would be as if they were the original Title 18 statutes prior to this turning into a corporation. So I go a lot further than most people do. And no, I can't reach anybody. You don't understand. I can't. Somebody would have to take my videos, because I've sent all these to all these auditors and I don't get anywhere. So somebody would have to clip my videos and do it separate. I've tried, and I've had people try, so maybe it won't be successful. I haven't had too many people try, and it's been a long time, but just the SWAT raid alone should show you I do have the last time that I was arrested, because I live streamed that. The cameraman, Kevin, he got a little, but you can still hear it. And then if you'll go in and you'll see this last time they took me to court, this is going to probably be one of the largest civil lawsuits filed against this state and the county, because I'm sure it involves now multiple judges, because they just took the county that I was saying that my son, I was investigating that I believe my son has been murdered and my daughter, or missing, or being held against their will somehow. It's not good. I know it's not good. I'm not going to like the results. I reported this death and rape or possible, murder to Josephine County. And then they tried to railroad me the other day and throw me in front of this judge for my pretrial hearing, where at the update, because at the pretrial hearing, the attorney that they had assigned the counsel to me, like, this has been going on 15 months. They couldn't get me an attorney. They SWAT raided my house because they wanted to go after my son, because they said he didn't do his probation. Or not only did he do it once, but he did it 2 times. And I can prove all this. I have all the witness, all the care. I have all this, documented. I documented live stream for hundreds of hours before they ever SWAT raided the house, but they never wanted to look at it. This is probably one of the most blatant violations. If somebody ever looked into this case, it would create a whole freaking movie. A content creator could do massive, and I don't know if I can create content right now, because I finally bucked up and put up all the precious metals, because I'm a pastor, and I took the money that I was going to purchase the ministry with in South America and bought one of the most expensive attorneys in the state, because they tried to throw me in jail the other day in 6 days, and they ain't even picked a jury. They didn't even have witnesses called. And he said, you're going to trial. You're going to trial. This county that this judge was from like 5 hours away, almost 4 hours, plus that means he had to get up at like 3 o'clock in the morning to be at this trial. And that's why he didn't even know the district attorney's name. The lady, when she called out the judge, she paused because she didn't know the name. Why would they send a judge from 4 hours away to sit on for a pretrial conference for my trial, right? Why wasn't the seated judge there? See, this guy didn't know anything about the case. This is the county that I reported my son being murdered in, to the county sheriff's office on the phone. And then when I had the counsel at the time call, they wouldn't give him the phone. When I called there to report my son murdered, they threatened to throw me in jail. And then when the attorney tried to get the phone call, from the CAD call, he wouldn't give them the call. Why didn't the attorney take it federal at that point? Because I actually have the state troopers involved with the SWAT raid, and the county, which I have to go over their heads. When they wouldn't give him, plus I had my federal passport there, which this guy had taken, that I believe, who has extorting my son and my daughter, and has taken my precious 40 pounds of precious metals that I had prior, and just in silver, not even to include the gold, to supposedly bail out my son. And then he stole all my metal from me. When this guy this is the guy that wanted to take my son and daughter and hide my son and daughter. This which leads me to believe that he's taken my son and daughter and hid them, and that my daughter could be being raped today by this man. And I've tried everything in my power to get the law to be involved. I've actually have phone calls reporting this rape, potential murder of my daughter. They're missing. They have not been seen. And I can't, they say they've seen them, but they said it was, months prior to me calling, but there's a 7-year warrant for my son's arrest for the prior charges on this same case where they're trying to go after him. And then he copped a new charge because I wouldn't let him stop the vehicle and made him come back to the house and to the ministry, because that's where we're providing a sanctuary. But either way, he could be going to jail for 10 years, and they will not go get him on a warrant. They came and SWAT raided the house to come pick him up, but they won't come here or there to go get him, where they had him on camera, they say. But I don't believe that to be true. I think the cops are involved with the missing and my son being murdered, because the case is so corrupt. It really, there's a lawsuit. If I could locate my daughter, they took my daughter and arrested her that day without a warrant signed by the judge. So they took her body and accosted her and arrested her wrist, arrested her body, and without, they said they Mirandized her. I doubt that they Mirandized her. I want to see the body cam of I want to, not a FOIA request through. I want to see the body cam, because they said they Mirandized me. And I remained silent. I invoked my Fifth Amendment and remained silent. And I ripped that cop's ass the whole time to the county jail, where I should have been being taken to the emergency room, as well as my son and daughter, but they threw me immediately in the county jail as soon as they can get me there. Okay. And so why would they come here to get my son there? And they actually went to his mom's house to go look for him, but couldn't find him. Okay. But this is, oh yeah, I think this was the cover up. Somehow my son was taken back because the state trooper said he went missing in September. And that's why I think he was on the phone and sounded under duress in October, when they say he went missing the month prior. But I'm 100% certain he was on the phone in October, in court, on the phone. I even made big deal about it in the live stream, prior and after, about his demeanor and how he sounded. And now it makes sense. Like, I think he was under duress. He got picked up back in September. That's when Adriana's charges got dropped. They pick up Adriana, and that's a kidnapping charge, brothers and sisters. That's a fucking kidnapping charge. They grenaded her too. They fucking grenaded my daughter. They didn't have a warrant for her arrest, so they dropped her charges in September. That's when my son went missing. It all makes fucking sense to me, and nobody will look at this. Nobody will even look into this. I'm the only one. And I don't know why this hasn't gone national. There should be massive teams of investigators on this. I can't even believe, as I'm a fucking veteran, nobody started a GoFundMe for me. And just look at these people just bleeding out of here, because nobody wants to fucking hear it. Everybody just wants to live their own little lollipop lives and get their little freedoms that they think is free. And they got people like me that stand up for the rights, and they don't give a shit. True people, true fucking veterans, people who really take a note to the Constitution, not somebody just forgets about it because they end their tour of service. I am a true constitutionalist. I stand up. I'm not a sovereign citizen. There's no such thing as sovereign. I stand up for the right of the people, not just the people on this rock. I stand up for everybody, one race under this covenant, the human race. People don't act like human beings. And so what? They don't even know what a human being looks like. You know, my son could be missing and dead, and I've had nobody help me. Not fucking one person has come in 15 months to my side to assist me, or my fucking daughter. So why am I happy about this? I'm not. I don't like this country. I fucking hate what this country's become. Look what they did to a veteran. Stomped and trampled every right that I have, and taken every right that I have except my First Amendment. So I apologize for my cursing, but it's all I have left. It's the only right I have left. I'm trying to get the fuck out of here as soon as I can. It sucks I might have to leave my son here without doing the investigation any further. And I don't know, maybe if I can get the charges dropped on me, I'm not going to stop. Maybe I'll take some time and go do I found him before, but then now he's missing, and I didn't find him. I found the location of my daughter's car where I believe they were potentially both at. And I reported this, in these caves that this guy said he could hide my son and my daughter, and they could go make money in the gold mines. And so I've already reported all this on here. And that's why I make such a big deal about it when I come in here sometimes. So it is what it is. I know most people can't handle this shit. It'd be way too much for them. Just one day in my life, they'd fucking just fold up, put them in a loony bin, put them in a straitjacket, drive you fucking nuts. And I have to be sane and live with this shit every day. A possibly murdered son, and nobody will do a fucking thing about it, man. I've kept my cool for a long time, but I can only keep my cool. And I'm not saying, all I do is curse. That's it. So fucking what? Get over it. I don't think a jury would hold against me. They'd see that I'm a real person. I know if they tried to take me to trial, all they have to see is the SWAT raid, and they drop this fucking case. There ain't no way. You did the right thing, Elijah. I don't even know if he's dead. I have no idea if he's fucking laying there because they shot him. I'm speaking to him, hoping that he's still alive, hearing me. Dead, I don't know. Alive, I don't know. All I know is I know he did not. Last time I saw him, he had his fucking hands in the air, and they shot him. What the fuck, dude? This country sucks. I fucking hate this. I apologize. I'm just a little, it's just hard to hold in. This shit is just too much, man. I look at this at the bigger picture, and like I said, I can't believe people think they give a fuck about veterans. Nobody gives a fuck about a First Amendment auditor like me. They got all these fucking accounts that I just said, and not one of these people have picked up this fucking nothing. So what? Bleep the cursing out. I didn't curse on all of it. I didn't curse at all when I was that day at all. And, you know, so what if I do? That's the least of my worries. So thank you, Father, for giving me this platform so I have somewhere to vent, you know, because that's all it is. You know, like I said, it's just a vent. I'm not mad at anybody. I'm not mad at whoever possibly killed, even the guy who killed my son and daughter. Whatever. Fuck him. I don't care about him. I only care about the word. I care about having accountability. I care about justice and liberty and rights. So just breaks me down to think, like I said, there's all these fucking GoFundMes that get done for these. I don't care about GoFundMes. I just want people to look at what the fuck your country is doing to veterans like myself and trampling the rights of people. I took an oath to the Constitution. I'm not some fucking state nationalist. I'm not sovereign. I took an oath. I'm a constitutionalist. I stand up for the rights. It says if it's not been adjudicated through the House, Congress, and Senate, it's repugnant. So I stand up for repugnant laws. Codes, ordinance, and mandates are not rights. Those are rights for enterprises and businesses, not for the people. Those aren't people. They mandate. That's man my ass. You allow this to go on, and somebody like me as a veteran, normally 22 of us every day blow our fucking heads off. And I'm never going to do that because you have to endure to the end to be saved. And I'd rather have my afterlife than anything that's on this rock. But I'd like to get some accountability for these fucking police. How would they grenade my daughter? They didn't even have a warrant for her arrest. That's why she's probably gone. Because if I can locate my daughter, she wouldn't be suffering right now. She could be filing a lawsuit and get her fucking life back and get her husband back. But that's why I think they kidnapped her. This case is massive. This case will involve several lawsuits, many of lawsuits against many of people. The seated elected sheriff is not in office. This case is that old. This case is 5+ years old. This case starts back in the time of COVID, when the COVID started, when I was protesting the sheriff's office. You're probably looking at one of the only people on this rock to include the people who supported me during the administration that's protested the fake scamdemic. Because I'm a veteran. I know what a freaking virus is. I'm a prior law enforcement. I've been a first responder. I know I've been show up on the fucking traffic scene to put your body back together for the paddy wagon hope shows up. Maybe we can get the amber and the, you know, the oranges and the cherries, hopefully not cherries and blueberries. No, that's what I was before they show up. You know what I'm saying? So this is bullshit. They sat there and encroached on people's rights. You know, veterans, they wear fucking masks. So I thought you had the right to choose. Fuck freedom. Freedom, da-dum-dum-dum. You're a fucking idiot. It's not, we don't defend your rights. We don't kill women and children in other countries so you can stand on a fucking X. It's called right to choose. Fuck freedom. Freedom's a fallacy. That's not the reality. People got sheep paralysis is what they got, you know. They're on some other dream, living the American dream, right? I did a stream the other day. I'm living the American dream. Fuck you. I'm off grid. I make my own power. I carry my own water. I eat chicken eggs right off their ass. I'm living the American dream. Fuck you. You get regulated by everything. I don't pay taxes for shit. As little as possible. You feed the beast system every fucking day you go to work. You feed the beast system by adding more to your bond. No, you let them take away from your fucking bond, you idiot. You think you're adding, you're fucking taking away. You know what I'm saying? So it's a bunch of bullshit. And yeah, it's made in China. So I'm just voicing my constitutional right. And we should be able to do that. Remember, freedom is dangerous. Should be borderline fucking criminal. You know what I'm saying? It should be. That's what freedom is. Freedom is do not fucking mess with that man. If he isn't hurting anybody, leave him the fuck alone. Leave her alone. That's freedom, right? Freedom is if there is no victim, there's no fucking crime. The state is not, you get the right under the Constitution to face your accuser. We have gone so far from the Constitution, I don't want to hear it. Presidents don't make fucking tariffs. You're a fucking dumb fuck. Presidents do not make tariffs. Congress makes the law. Congress is the one who makes tariffs. Go back and read the Constitution. You're a bleeding idiot. You bleeding fucking stupidity everywhere. And I don't want to hear it. You know, we don't have that many more days before this is going to go to a digital communist country. Blockchain, digitally tracked and traced, credit scored, just like somebody made by China. This country's already done. You can put a fork in it. They have a bunch of freaking thin blue line. You know the definition of a gang when I was a fucking pig? Was a heavily armed group, 5 or 6, 8 or more, 6 or 8, 10, a group of armed thugs, heavily armed, going around harassing and extorting the general public. All wearing the same color. Thin blue line. They're fucking a gang. They extort the people. They're road raiders. They're not even operating in a criminal, capacity, in a judicial capacity. They're operating in commerce. So fuck the police. There's not one good police officer in America. That's why I protested Michael Taylor during the during the COVID, told, get off your fucking ass, you piece of shit. You got more authority than the federal government. Don't you remember during the Bundy standoff, they came over there and said, the feds got run the fuck off. The elected sheriff came in and said, get the fuck out of here. And they had to leave because the elected sheriff is a sheriff. And that's what I was trying to explain to this sheriff here, Michael Taylor, the dumb fucking idiot that allowed me to get $25,000 worth of my shit stolen, wouldn't do anything about his cops doing it. Look, I told this sheriff, dude, you don't understand the authority that you have. Most don't. You can run the feds out of here. This is a fake fucking thing. It's done at a state level, okay? Fuck the feds, okay? But it is being done at a state level. They're the mouthpiece with their Dr. Falsey and their Sarah Burkhart and their Thump up there with his warp speed. It was a big act, okay? All pre-planned, Event 201. They had this thing all patented ahead of time. They knew this was coming. Look at what the markets were doing overnight. We're like $1 trillion in the overnight lending. But they had to come up with something to stop this bleeding out of our economy, brothers, sisters. Don't fool yourself. They had this all pre-planned. It's called Hegelian dialect, problem, reaction, solution, okay? It is something that has been done on the masses. There's a reaction of the people. They want a final result. And so they get to be the hero to this problem that they created by the reaction. Pre-plan, problem, hero with a solution, problem, reaction, solution. They knew exactly what they were doing. Go see Event 201. I told you before it ever fucking happened on the internet. I told you, this is bullshit. This is it, guys. Not like the end of the world, but I've seen a lot of things in my day, and I've been blogging, okay? Done a lot of things. I warn you, and I'm still 100% correct about my 923-11004 with this whole ICE raid shit. I'm not wrong. But I even warned you of Trump before he was even ever talked again about running for office, because he'd been talking about it since the fucking 80s, you idiots. The Simpsons have never let me fucking down. I'm an investigator. I'm a prior traffic crash reconstructionist. I'm a prior fucking pig. I've done this for you. Can't get your criminal list. You can't think like a fucking criminal. Criminal is a term of accounting. Crimes of commerce, brothers, sisters. So I tell this elected piece of shit sheriff, get off your ass. Get off your fucking ass and protect these businesses. This isn't the first time, brothers, sisters, where 2 to 3 million businesses, which was a beautiful destruction of their competition, not people employed 1,000, 500 people, but people employed 2, 3, 5, 10 people, a dozen people. You remember? Employed all these people. This is the backbone of our fucking country, other than the Hispanic people who are coming here and feeding us, Mexicans. People who come in here for decades. So, but anyways, okay, this is the system that they ran. This whole, create this scamdemic by declaring a national emergency in all 50 states with no cure. That way they could declare the national emergency, usurping short, medium, and long-term trials under the FDA trials, right? Short, medium term. How long does it take to bring one of these things to market? We have horrible efficacy when it comes to this. I know this shit. I'm a first responder. I know virology. I know the human genome, the makeup of our biology. The brothers and sisters, we're not that damn complex. Although it is very, has a lot of switches and valves and things. Father did make us, to all work in a similar fashion. So we all work similar. We have a male and a female, different, but we're all, remember, but either way, we all react the same way to like sick on autoimmunity. For example, you know, a body, it gets stressed, it drinking too much, partying, too many hookers. I don't know what your problem is, but you've just been overworking your body. It's going to correct itself. It's going to correct itself. You understand? It's going to do that, you know, and so they created this whole scamdemic, you know, over something that's not even a living organism. That's about how fucking stupid the whole world is right now. You could look it up for yourself and ask, you know, you have 3 autoimmune responses. You have a bacteria that is alive that could get in a patient. A doctor wears his mask to cover your open surgery, whatever, that can cause infection, cause you to die. A bacteria cause an infection, you can die. But a doctor does not wear a mask for a fucking virus. So as a veteran, I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? You know, over in the desert, only, you know, Sharia law, only women veil, burqa, or cover their faces, their heads. What the fuck are men doing wearing face diapers? These are a bunch of children acting like fucking babies here. But dudes in fucking burqas, dude, this is, I wake up in America, Sharia law. So I was very boisterous, brothers, sisters. Obviously, like I said, I have 12 years on this platform. And a lot of these channels, I've had channels taken down, other platforms, TikTok, the channel's still up. I can't even live stream. They will not allow me to live over there anymore. They don't want this gospel. I'm way too, and I can't say this much over there, what I can say on here. And I still get restricted here for talking about some of these medicinal things that I should shut up about. You know what I'm saying? The bomb of the PDF file. That's excellent. Thank you. But man, that's excellent. So, but seriously, brothers, sisters, you look it up. Autoimmune response, bacteria, fungus, virus. A virus. So what in the hell are people afraid of a virus? It was all about creating this whatever 5G whiz. And I know, like I'm saying, so back during the start of the COVID, I went and I complained. Not the first time that they flattened the curve and made a big stink with the sheriff's department. Okay, seeing being you're a bunch of lazy fucks, get off your ass. You fuckers aren't doing anything. I'm driving a car around that's got 20-year-old expired tags, and you fuckers didn't give me a ticket. You pieces of shit. Okay, hey, they let me go, but they were letting everybody go. Remember during the scamdemic, the cops didn't do shit. I mean, they went after like violent, but pretty much you could almost run roughshod. They just pretty much laid back and collected a paycheck. Which they're still fucking scam artists because they work for the corporation and they're not even operating in a judicial capacity. So they're not cops. They're not enforcing any judicial law. They're enforcing what is called revised statutes. And revised statutes were not adjudicated through the House, Congress, and Senate. Therefore, they're not constitutional, and therefore it says repugnant. And so if you don't stand up against this shit, you're a bootlicker, you're a pig licker. Here's my 2 witnesses, okay? Go fuck yourself. I don't care for people who don't stand up at all. You want to be the silent majority in history. That's how you are going to go down. You're going to lick the fucking boot. You're going to be a pig licker. Pigs. Father says, do not sup with swine. Pigs. People in government. So not just these clown cops that roll around. So I'm going to my elected official and a pig, the elected sheriff. Not the first time that they flattened the curve, where 2 to 3 million small businesses in 2 weeks, just 2 weeks, we're going to flatten the curve. Just go put your face diaper on. Everything's going to be okay. I'm like, dude, they're going to stick you guys. What are you talking about? There was no sticker yet, no jab. I'm like, they're going to stick you guys. This is about a sticker. This is about, they're going to come up with, they always have the solution to the problem. They never want to talk about the cause. So, okay. So here's how I tell everybody before this ever happened too. And it's all documented here on YouTube. So more of my 2 witnesses. 11 motherfuckers dead in China, and they locked the whole country down. That's how I picked the COVID and said, you dumb fuckers better listen to me. And I don't know everything. I'm not a fucking prophet. There's no prophets. I've watched these people for 25 plus 30 years. Solid. I've made it a habit. Every fucking day I try to spend some time going back and researching these white papers before the fucking internet. They've been putting this shit out. These families have had this reign for thousands of years. They leave a trail behind. They don't have to fucking tell you every time they do something. They can tell you 99 truths and 1 lie. So fuck you if they have to tell you every time. And they can tell you 99 and 1 truths and 1 lie, 99 lies and 1 truth. So they don't have to tell you, but they normally do. They put it in television, children's animation, Adult Swim. Like I said, The Simpsons have never let me down. Okay, they put these things in everything. It's in commercials, signage. It's in, if you have an eye to see, they speak in numerology, gematria. They speak in shapes. They speak in literal, not just numbers and letters, but they speak in shapes and symbols. They have many languages that you don't speak. So as this stuff, as they're speaking out, it's all around you. You're like the guy with the rose-colored glasses on. You don't see shit. Everything's rosy. You're fine. But there's a whole nother world. The Obey with Roddy Piper, whatever that guy is. I didn't watch the movie, but right. And they never even so. Look, I take the elected sheriff, and I finally and he's not doing anything. And I'm getting the community together because I didn't go inside. I didn't wear the mask, start to use the curbside. And I'm getting people to kind of understand, hey, there's a big push, we're a little teeny tiny town. So we're getting a little bit of pushback, and I'm getting a lot of support, but we're getting that other side. And so they're loving what's happening. Even in this little township out here, it's not even a town, it's a township, okay? So we're getting this thing, and I'm not trying to cause resistance. I'm trying to bring people that there's rights that are being encroached on, and fuck these people that are saying you have to wear a mask. Fuck them, they're idiots. They don't care about your rights. If your mask works, shut the fuck up. You shouldn't be saying shit to me. You put your fucking face diaper on, you dumb fuck. Put 2 on, remember they said? And you'll be just fine now. Put one on your asshole too, because you got it coming out your butthole as well. It could get up there. That's a wet spot too. You're leaking, okay? With your anal syrup, with your nonsense coming out all your holes and orifices. But anyways, it was disgusting what people were saying. I'm like, dude, I don't give a fuck. These are about rights. I don't care what you're talking about. These are a violation of the right. So I don't even care what you're saying. I'll listen to it. But when I'm done and I'm going to hear you say, I'm going to show you how this is encroaching on the right of the people. So you can't tell you, if you force yourself on somebody, that is called rape. And so I was warning ahead of time. This is what you would call medical rape. And I warned of this back, before the scamdemic ever came into, I did, on Truth Viral Television, where I warned you about the 923 ritual that's happening right now. That's not going to come. It's happening right now. This Executive Order 1104, it's happening right now. They're relocating people, putting them into these camps. Alcatraz. I'm not fucking wrong. I'm not a prophet. I apologize because I'm cursing. Today, I don't know what happened to me. I need to go get a taco or something. Maybe I'm not eating enough red meat, but I'm still going to make sure that I get this message out. Okay, you understand? These people have been putting this into play since before. So I knew that this was a scam. So I go to my elected sheriff, and I don't tell him it's a scam. I tell him they're encroaching on people's rights. Okay, he won't take my call, but I'm trying to get messages because I know people can talk to him. It's a small town. He won't ever take my call. I've been calling him for, many months and to try to, years at that point, try to get him to come out here and police his corrupt police officials in the northern portion of the county, because he lives down there near the California border. And I'm up here more towards Central Oregon in the bastard portion of the county, in a little township in nowhere where we get treated like freaking bastard children up here. Okay. But anyways, he's down there, and I'm saying, now look, the first time, and I make it very clear that they're trying to this flatten the curve bullshit, shut these businesses down, which is stupid because they got no way to have all the extras that they should have had, all the paper products. They had all that in play, brothers and sisters. They had that already. That was the Koch brothers. Okay. Thump's buddies. Mr. Warp Speed's buddies are the Koch brothers. The Koch brothers are the ones who did all your rubber and your plexiglass screens and your paper products. And yes, that was all pre-planned. So they had it. But where did these people come up with that? That's like they had all the Uber Eats in play already. The DoorDash with this. Yes, they did. They had all this ready to go. Oh, shit, they did. Oh, yeah, that worked. Look at the timing on it. Impeccable. These people know exactly what they're doing. So don't doubt that they didn't know what was going on. So I go and I start making a stink. And I said, this is bullshit. We start looking at the statistics, and we realize that there's a massive amount of businesses being shut down. So I bring this to the elected sheriff, and I say, look, I don't care if you know this, but if you remember during the Bundy standoff in Nevada, over the whatever, the cattle, okay? They're gold miners that front as cattle ranchers over minerals. It's always over minerals. Just like out here, the Hammonds, pancake, yellow pancake. They're ranchers. They front is for their mineral rights. They have the mineral rights on the land. They can do this using the grazing rights. You guys are just, these people fall for anything. You know, they're just very one-sided, like a piece of paper, not even two-sided. But anyway, all right. It's real. There is a third other side of my hand, believe it or not. It's the difference between time and space. Welcome to the third dimension. Hello. It's not space above your head, you idiot. So anyway, so I tell the elected official and I start going to the local community members and I tell them, you guys, this is a scam. Here's why. I'm a veteran. I wore a mask. You shouldn't be forced to do this. They're going to make people take this shot. It's coming. They're going to make people take the sticker. No, what are you talking about? No. I said, yes, they are. This is where this is leading, and this will lead to a lot of other things. It's probably going to never go away at this point. So I see 11 people dead in China. They shut down all of China. I said, this is it, guys. This is the one that I already see this with the Event 201. They have their little Corona deal, their little stuffed animal. They're releasing it right now. You know, remember, Mike Pompeo, this is a live exercise, he said to Trump. Oh, we should have said something. This is a live exercise. So they went with it, guys. They ran this into a literal event, okay? And they had it pre-planned, and they were doing this literally as they were shooting from the hip, if you will. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm watching all of this develop. As an investigator, as a reconstructionist, I'm starting to reconstruct, and I'm going, what the hell? Why is the Walmart get to stay open? But my little dojo over here, Taekwondo instructor with his little, dojo, he's got to shut down. The lady over there at the coast, she collects driftwood and she in little pieces of glass, and she makes wind chimes and all, and she's got a good business going from tourism, and she's be able to support herself, and she employs another person to go down to the beach. These are the backbone of our country. All these businesses got to shut down, but the Piggly Wiggly got to stay open. The Kroger, the big stores all got to stay open. Why did the big box stores get to stay open, but they shut down the middle class businesses? So I made this known. I said, this is bullshit. They're destroying the middle class of our society, which is the backbone, which is getting rid of their competitors. People are like, dude, you're crazy. I'm like, yeah, whatever, call me crazy. We got to make a stink. And so when they did the whole thing, because they let that all come back, and then the second time they came around, guys, remember, and they said, all right, we're going to do it again. We're going to flatten the curve. We're going to go back to shut these businesses down. That was it. I said, no fucking more. I'm not hearing this shit bullshit. I put everything into everything I could into holding a protest. And so I started out here. It's really hard to gather the people to even come together, but with prayer, because we got, somebody to come say a prayer. I didn't say the prayer, but we had somebody come because I didn't want it to be, somebody to say the prayer. We had a city council member there, and we probably had about 30 plus 40 people, maybe more, there at the protest where I held protest against the elected sheriff and say, get off your fucking ass, you piece of shit, and protect these fucking businesses. Bring your SWAT team out here, vehicles. I don't give a fuck. Your deputies' vehicles. Protect these businesses. I have Kathy that doesn't want to shut her business down. Bullshit. This is a scam. She wants to just do business as fucking normal, okay? Just bring your SWAT team out here. We're not going to do this flat in the curve this time. Hey, you got to go around the SWAT team vehicle. Don't worry. They're just here to make sure that nobody shows up. OSHA didn't come out here and fuck with us. The government knows to kiss our ass. The elected sheriff's got the seated authority, and he's using his resources to tell the government to go fuck yourself. And it's Kate Brown. We're protesting her. I had a big, huge Kate Brown flag, too, that I made specifically because I was trying to make people understand, too. This is not only done at the federal, but they're doing this at a state level. So we need to go after the people who are actually putting these mandates, codes, ordinances against us. It's not truly the federal government that's doing this. Is done at a state level. We need to concentrate on both. You guys just think this is done at a federal. It's being done at state. So I'm going to my elected official, the state from the county, and telling him, get off your fucking ass and protect these businesses. Use your resources. Bring all your deputies. Dorothy from the law. See, a lot of these businesses are all gone now too, brothers, which sucks. That I was trying to protect. The cafe, it's not there anymore. It's shut down. It's actually gone through a couple different owners. Dorothy had been at the lodge for many years, and she tried to stay open, but she was so afraid of losing her LLC license, her out here, because she has that attached bar, which does, it's separate on another side, but that she does get a lot of the business from them doing like orders, short orders, and fries, and cheese sticks and that type stuff for the bar. So she couldn't see, but she was wanting to. If she would have gotten the support of the sheriff, she would have. But I tried and tried and tried. The only business that actually chose that had any balls was Kathy. Kathy's the one out here, the owner of the farmhouse. And Kathy employed about 5 or 6 people through the farmhouse. And she had the best food. She had the best burger ever. As far as a Western burger, her food was phenomenal. I mean, just over the top, unbelievable, drive anywhere, diners, drive-ins, and dives kind of a deal. This place had it going on. And I've been a 5-star chef and worked in a 5-star restaurant, and I know good food. She put a lot of love in. So I didn't want to see Kathy shut her business down. A lot of people loved her business. It was excellent business. And it was kind of nice because there was big tables in there, and I didn't like sometimes little locals gathered and they cackled, and the rich people, and I used to kind of run them off when I come in there and try to talk to them about stuff, and they just get up and leave. Halftime they'd leave their plates there. I'm like, yeah, get out of here. So, but anyways, I tell Kathy, I said, we can do this, Kathy. I said, look, here's what they're going to do, Kathy. I know this seems like this is bigger than it is, but these people are kind of shooting from the hip on this. And look, Kathy, they're doing this at a state level. The only thing they're going to do to you, Kathy, if we stay open, we'll keep the business open, is they're just going to issue a fine or a summons. But they can't even issue the summons. They're going to issue you a notice of appear in front of a magistrate, and then they'll try to fine you, but nobody's going to arrest you. Okay. She said, all right, well, okay. I said, so we'll just keep going. All right. So they did this flatten the curb, thing. And I tried to get the sheriffs to come out and try to meet with Kathy, and made phone calls, and the sheriff didn't want to do shit. So what I finally ended up doing too, is I made a meme on the internet, and it worked out brilliantly. It was just absolute. I meme my way through the COVID. I had some of the best memes. I made some of the best memes during the COVID. So, but the meme said, breaking news, small town business in cooperation with local sheriff runs off OSHA. But Michael Taylor, the piece of shit, wouldn't fucking return my phone call. He wouldn't answer me. He wouldn't protect the fucking business because he's not a community servant. He's a piece of shit fucking tyrant who had a chance to actually do something for fucking history. I said, just like when OSHA came out, because they find, okay, so I tell Kathy, I said, hey, we'll get a hold of it. And then I make this meme, and then I get the phone calls. This is where they're still, this is why they probably killed my son. You know what I'm saying? That I said, hey, look, here's your chance, dude. You're an elected, seated official. You can make a fucking huge deal. The whole country will be looking at this thing. We can stand up and make a fucking difference. You have more rights than the federal government. Look what they did during the Bundy standoff. So when I made the meme that said breaking news, small town community with local sheriff runs off OSHA, that fucking pissed the cops off out here, guys. I mean, I had people literally come to my house. I even, like I said, tell me, look, the sheriff is pissed because they didn't want to get involved in this. And you basically have now forced their hands. The whole community took the meme and thought it was real. They're like, yeah. And people are like, wait a minute. Is it real? And so it caused a stir. So they actually had to get in their fucking vehicles and go have a meeting down there at the down in Lakeview. And that's where this is what made this sheriff's office hate me. This is why the sheriff's office has been attacking me. And I believe they killed my son and my daughter. They're involved with it, with the state troopers, because they're the ones who kidnapped my daughter. See, Adriana Massey would have a massive lawsuit immediately. If I can locate her, all my son's issues, I'm sure, because he'd have the money to get an attorney, but instead they're possibly on the run, which I don't think they are anymore. I think they were kidnapped by Marshall Radnich. I've already reported this to the sheriff's office in Josephine County. That's why this county down here with Vandenberg and with this Pat Wolke is, I'm going to sue specifically Judge Vandenberg with an independent civil case against Vandenberg, 100% separate against Vandenberg. And I know with that case where they tried to throw me in front of into a trial where the attorney had quit months ago and then forgot to even call in is for surely a lack of adequate counsel, and the case should be dropped immediately, but they don't give a fuck. They just do whatever they want. So Pat Wilkie, separate lawsuit, 100%. He said I was nutty reporting that my son had been murdered potentially, that my daughter had been potentially murdered in his county, and he is from Josephine County. The motive there, and then he specifically said, so when he goes on his lie detector test and they ask Pat Wilkie, do you know anything about the case with Tracy and Werner? He's going to fail it. Because he said to me, I don't know what you're talking about. And he just tried to push me back in the case. I'm reporting a murder in this fucking in this judge's county of my son and my daughter, potentially 2 dead fucking people. And he's a seated fucking judge in this county. And he didn't stop the fucking, hold on, we're going to take a recess here. You know, actually, you need to come in here. Oh, I don't even know who Daniel Tegg is. I don't even fucking, there's somebody came in here once who said they were Daniel Tegg, and fuck Daniel Tegg, because he ain't even called me once either. And I'm 100% sure Daniel Tegg knows about this case now. Okay? Duckus, I'm sure Daniel knows about it, because once I finally got the fucking paid attorney, I'm sure Daniel Tegg knows about it, just like Paul Charis knows about it. And I bet you Michael Taylor's gotten a fucking call, and I bet you that Ted Martin's got a call too. Oh shit, this motherfucker ain't laying down. Because that's all they've been trying to get me to do since I've been out here, since they SWAT raided this house. They've been trying to get me to lay down for years out here, and I will not lay down. I do give a fuck about this community. I don't care what the community thinks as these dumbass motherfuckers that live here that support these rich fucking farmers, because it's the cops out here that are being paid off by the farmers to run these fucking illicit things in this town. And that's how they've gotten, we got a dead fucking cop in Lake County that the Fed should have been out here before this case ever happened, that I was trying to get them to come look at. Why is sheriff fucking the sheriff's vehicle, the sergeant's vehicle, going to the airport, people seeing him, and then going to the known drug dealers' houses in town? You know what I'm saying? Why is this happening? Why is Sergeant Rourke? Why did Sergeant Rourke just retire on the job? Gee, I wonder. Why is his son being delivered? Because see, these farmers pay the cops off to keep them clean, so they get to do whatever they want and run roughshod in this town. They'll fucking drive down the town 80 fucking miles an hour and get a free pass. They do. And I'm not saying that every farmer out here is crooked, and not everybody who works for them, but there are some very crooked farmers out there that want a free pass, and they pay the cops off so that they can deliver their goods and do farming 24 hours a day and go in circles. So, well, Tegg hasn't been in there very long. So Big Duckus, what the hell do you know about Daniel Tegg? Are you, you don't have to disclose anything. You can stop. I don't want you to, they already attacked my son and possibly killed my son and daughter. I don't want you to, anything to happen to you. Remember, I have evidence. I've recorded all this shit. I don't know what you have against them, but, do you know him from a prior? I really hadn't looked into his, background. I don't have the time to do it right now, but I know Taylor's background, but in Cleves, DC, isn't it? Yeah. So you know what? So did Sergeant Rourke. I was, when they threw me in jail, I was in with a guy, an older guy, who said that, listen to this, Big Dickus, Sergeant Rourke, when he was out, I don't know what he was out there in the woods or something. He was out there in the woods and he had walked away from his quad. This was new. Not like it's some old piece of shit quad. Sergeant Rourke came and picked the fucking quad up and took it to his house. He didn't even report it. He took it to his house. Come out to find later that Sergeant Rourke fucking had this guy's four-wheeler. He found it out in the woods. You know what I'm saying? No, I won't do an upgrade, you dumb fuck. I live out here in the middle of the country, you fucking idiot. Why would I upgrade myself to some weaponized phone? Get the fuck out of here, child. Go take your fucking router and your 5G whiz Starlink satellite bullshit and get the fuck out of my face, you fucking microwave piece of shit. Go fucking cook yourself somewhere else. You're cooked. Goodbye. I don't give a fuck about an upgrade. I live in the middle of nowhere, dumbass. I don't have 5G on my phone. Go look at the thing. I live in the middle of nowhere. You could have went and looked at prior live streams to find me outside You say there's no fucking neighbors, but I'm going to open my fucking mouth and I want you to upgrade, get 5G Wiz, radiate yourself. See, this is the dumb fucks that I got to people. Maybe somebody would sit on my jury too. It's getting to be pretty sad fucking time and place where you didn't even worry about the people. Man, I wonder if the jurors got jabbed or not. I wonder how many boosters they took. How many boosters did you take there, Dub, rub-a-dub-dub? So I was talking to Big Duckus, 3 men's in the Duckus in the tub there. So you can drain yourself from the bottom out of here or take your little, spill over the top, whatever you do, but don't spew your nonsense in here. Shut up is what I'm going to tell you. Use your right to remain silent. Use your Miranda rights. Invoke your right to remain silent and shut the fuck up. Thank you. So anyways, tell me what you know about Daniel Tag there, Big Dickus. Are you a resident of the county, local? You don't have to disclose your location, but I'm going to, if Daniel Tag is corrupt, I'm going to expose him. I'll just start doing some homework when I get off here, and I should probably get off here in about 5 or 10 minutes here because yeah, oh boy, I went an hour over. I wanted to. That's okay. I'll do work for the ministry every single time. Every single time. So I'm not sure if we had that person in here earlier from Auditor, but get this shit out. Thanks for sharing the live stream, guys. You want to support the ministry. You want to support a veteran. Start me a GoFundMe or something. Nobody's looking for my son. If not, I'm suing the state of Oregon. I'm suing Lake County. I'm be suing Michael Taylor. I'll be suing the elected sheriff again because they didn't do shit, And again, I told them to come out and protect the businesses, and they didn't. So I did. Okay. And that's why they don't like me out here because I held protest against the sheriff's office that they're pieces of shit that don't do anything and they're thugs. And if I have every bit to back up what I'm saying. So it's Christ-like audit. Thank you, Connection. It's Christ-like to audit your public officials when they're serving in a public service. They have no right to expectation to privacy. So stick cameras in these pigs' faces. Public officials go audit every public space. Bring a camera in there, and if they throw you in jail, you'll get a lawsuit. That's a violation of your Fourth Amendment. You can use the Treasument calculator of 1983 and bill them out at $1,049 a minute times the rate of inflation now, whatever that comes up to. So there's where you're at. And you use the 1611 calculator in Scripture, it will pay out. So you do have this ability to keep these people accountable. But if we all just sit there and stand down and cower down, nobody's going to hold these tyrants accountable. You know what I'm saying? So this is supposed to be the freest nation in the world. Why do we have more people locked up in America than every other country combined? Why is this nation, why are we so indebted? We're the most indebted nation. So this is not a free nation. And because I choose to use my Congress as, given First Amendment right to, speak up. Congress shall establish no law prohibiting the exercise of free speech of the press, of religion, the right to peacefully assemble and redress grievances. These are my First Amendment rights. So I use them so that I don't be judged as some corporation. And if I suffer because of it, that's part of the process. So like I said, you want to do something in your life, start a GoFundMe for my son. He could be dead and missing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what you got there, biggest dickus. Freaking UGE, huge. He's like, you're like that YouTube subscriber with the cone head thing on, the Mystery Dicky, but no, I think that's what it's called. I don't know why that popped up on my feed, but anyways, thanks for your support. Just coming in. You don't have to do anything, brothers, sisters, for me. Okay. But do it for the people in your communities and stuff. Father will provide for me, because I work hard. That's why I got to get off here, and I'd like to stay on here and do some more time, but I got to get to work out here. I have to $5,000 more that I'm going to have to come up with, and I'm given it as a gift. I feel like I'm being given a gift for that. So 5,000 more for the trial. So if you want to support the ministry, you can support the South American ministry that we'll be building down there. As soon as I can leave and get my passport, I'll be going down to purchase that property and get that farm developed down there to tithe. We did have a tithe come in for the ministry for that. It was large enough that I went ahead and put it into precious metals so it doesn't just lose its value. So I do have the first contribution that was given towards the Ecuador ministry. So if you know somebody that has abundance, you can I don't know what that's all about. So, no, nobody has to do the legal defense. If you want to, that's fine. Nobody has gone into the legal defense. So, start something for Elijah. Start something for his defense. Start something for a private investigator because I'm not even supposed to be having contact with him. Remember, I get threatened to throw in jail if I have contact with him. So, or even try to find him or bring it up. So, and you don't have to, guys. Don't feel obligated. Nobody's done it in 15 months. What's going to make this stream ain't going to make a difference. I don't think anybody, these auditor, that person that came in earlier, I don't think the audit will, nobody will do anything. Every one of us should be sending this stuff to these auditors. This is disgusting how much, stuff can be taken from this case. I should have been contacted by all these auditors going, hey, I want in on that story, man. I want to cover this, but fuck no. Nobody gives a shit on YouTube. Not any of these auditors, because I have contacted them. So some of them I have, or I've had you guys try to contact them. So I think this is one of the biggest audit cases with this. We need an audit like this too, where you can hear me in the courtroom and do what they do to us in these courtrooms too. So it's pretty disgusting as a veteran how they've treated me and how they've potentially just allowed the murder of my son after I'm reported and potentially kidnapped, that he could have been murdered. So that will fall on Judge Vandenberg because I told him to drop the no contact order. That's the reason why they wouldn't go look for my son when he may have been alive. So 100% Dave Vandenberg is on the fucking hook. I will sue the fuck out of Dave Vandenberg, and I'm not going to have any grievances. I'm not doing it out of vengeance. I want that man held accountable. He is an absolute tyrant. And what in this case he has done is should easily be somebody, an investigator, look at this from some outside agency and put this man behind fucking bars, as well as, Michael Taylor. That man needs to do time in prison. I don't want these people to get off without going to jail. That's just like all this dumb fucking shit that went on with the Doge files and all this shit, this government efficiency. You think like anybody's going to go to jail over this Epstein shit? No, nobody's going to go to fucking jail, but they're going to threaten to throw me in jail. They've already put me in jail, but nobody goes to jail on their end. So fuck all this shit. Fuck everybody who supports this shit. I fucking rebuke you. Get the fuck out of here. Don't you ever come back here again. I don't need bootlickers in here. I don't need pig lickers. People in government, 40% of this populace in America works for the fucking government in one way, shape, or form. Federal, state. We have 1,000 military bases in 180 countries. We have subcontractors, private contractors. Yeah, that's 40% of the populace of America is the fucking government. You no wonder why nothing happens in this country, because everybody works for the fucking government. And now they got these ICE officials. These people aren't even working for the government. They're working for the private prisons. That's how stupid fucking Americans are. This is how stupid Americans are, brothers and sisters. They don't even fucking look into it. These ICE agents are being funded, bonuses and shit. And now I got to get off here because that shit was bothering me. Like, I've been finding more and more videos of American citizens being taken off the streets, people who are telling people, and they can prove, but they don't want to fucking listen to them. I'm born here in this country. Stop. And these fucking ICE people tell them to shut the fuck up, not say anything, and get in the fucking car, get in the van. So they're starting to sweep anybody they want off the street, and they can do this under the guise of a fucking thing you can buy off Amazon. You can buy all these badges. They don't have badge numbers. They got just like police or what. They're not even, this is the biggest clusterfuck I've ever seen in my life. This is disgusting. They're literally kidnapping people off the streets, and American citizens don't give a flying fuck about their own citizens. They don't. I fucking despise this country so much. And the people who stand by and aren't speaking up right now, they're literally paying these motherfuckers bonuses from the private prisons to go out and sweep people off the fucking streets. It's understand if they have a criminal record, like, rape or murder or something, but they're American fucking born citizens now. And this isn't just the people. Now it wasn't. And so what if they don't have a fucking piece of paper? Fuck you, you bootlicker. Fuck you, you piece of shit. Get the fuck out of here, because somebody doesn't have a piece of paper. No different than you getting a fucking speeding ticket. Get the fuck out of here. Play your little fucking tiddlywink somewhere else. Must be one of you MAGA fucking idiots. Or one of you lefties or something. You're all a bunch of dumb fucks. These are American fucking citizens, brothers, sisters. I keep seeing more and more videos. people complaining, I'm an American, I was born here, telling their birthplace, giving their fucking birthplace. And the ICE agents are like, shut up. Even the ones like, oh man, we're going to end up having to shoot somebody. Oh, we get a $30,000 bonus for this one, is what he said. Something like that. I mean, the guy dropped his phone. They didn't even think they were fucking recording, and the guy's just sitting there. The ICE agents are running their fucking mouth. So these are ISIS. Should have stuck to the subject, but these are paid mercenaries, brothers and sisters. This is no different than the Mujahideen, Al-Qaeda. These are like private contractors that work for the fucking government in other countries, so we're not involved in military operations. This is bullshit. This is not okay with me. And if you're okay and just stand around and let your own fucking U.S. citizens be swept up by a bunch of people getting paid by private fucking prisons, you're a piece of shit. You know that? You're fucking garbage. I cannot believe I took a note to the Constitution to defend somebody like you. You know, I guess that's what we have in America, right? But it's bullshit. I'm calling you out. You're a piece of shit, allowing your own fucking people. This is the immigration country, okay? A nation of immigrants. Now they're trying to keep all these people they let come in here for 30 fucking years. This is the biggest bullshit I've ever seen. America has done some really fucking horrendous shit. Like the whole thing for 50 plus years, making everybody pay for oil. But this really is topping it, brothers and sisters. This is worse than the fucking COVID. You know, it is, in a sense, encroaching on people's rights. They're just street sweeping people. Bam, they don't like you. You got fucking freckles. You got blue eyes. They don't fucking care anymore, brothers and sisters. It has gone that far, that fast. So if you don't think it's going to happen to you, go ahead. Go out on the street. See if you're next. You better be able to prove you're a U.S. citizen. Do you have your fucking papers? Sound a lot like fucking Nazi Germany to me. Can you prove? What if that's not enough proof? You're going to get in the fucking van anyways, aren't you? What if you can? You better be bringing your birth certificate. How do we know that's you? That's not a certified copy. We can't count the original. So it's got to be a certificate. See, they can do whatever the fuck they want. So if that doesn't wake you the fuck up and get you settled, you better get out there before they make this gets any worse. And in the scripture, it says it's going to get worse. You think you're going to be able to travel around that much longer in this country? You're out of your fucking mind. The captain's going to put on the fasten seatbelt signs any fucking day, week now. Maybe month, I don't know. I'm not making a prediction like by time, but they're going to start putting more military on the streets. That's why they put them in California. They put 700 fucking Marines on the streets of America, and nobody gave a fuck. Nobody cared. You know what I'm saying? Nobody gave a fuck, you know? So I don't care if people don't have pieces of paper. That's bullshit. You have constitutional rights under the Constitution, whether you have citizenship in this country or not. So go fuck yourself, you lame ass piece of shit. That's right. The Constitution protects people here that not even have obtained citizenship. That's how much you don't know the Constitution. And that's how much I love the Constitution. That's the way it does. It is a God-given, protected, organic. The federal government, again, was not put there to make laws. They were there to protect the organic, God-given, whether you believe in a God or not, right of the people. Rights, not freedom, you dumb fucking dumb. Veterans don't kill people in other countries for freedom. It's about the right to choose, whether they wear a fucking mask, stand on an X, take a jab. No, that's all been encroached on. So now they're just street sweeping people off the fucking country. We have our own Mujahideen. It's called ISIS, ICE apostrophe S, hashtag ICE apostrophe S. You don't think so, but I know so. I'm certain of it now. I have seen too many videos now of American citizens. Americans. I didn't say ones that were that American born. I didn't say people who came over here and have done the right thing, naturalized, went through, got their green card, went through the process. I'm talking about people who were born in this fucking country. And I told you that was going to happen. Under the Executive Order 11004, they did it to Japanese parents were born in Japan, but they were born in America. During World War II, they put them in fucking work camps, took them and seized them. So they're doing it again. They're doing it again. So I'm not a prophet. I don't make fucking predictions. There's no such thing as prophecy. Prophecy was all fulfilled. There's no prophets. We're seeing everything that has happened is exactly how Father wants it to be. So that's why I don't freak out over it. But I do call it out because that's what Christ did. So if you're not auditing your public officials, if you're not standing up for your First Amendment rights, 2nd, 5th, 6th, 18th, 12th, all these rights, and not just yours for other fucking people. Maybe yours hasn't been encroached on, but other people's are, then you're not Christ-like. Christ stood up to the law. And they threw him in fucking jail, brothers and sisters. That's how much you don't love Christ. That's how much you don't know him. You don't know my love. He paid the price dearly. They ripped his beard out of his face. Does anybody want to rip the beard hairs out of your face? Maybe rip eyebrows off your, come on. Does anybody want to hang you from a tree? Anybody want to put holes in you? If they don't want to put holes in you, you're not Christ-like. You're some lollipop idiot, religious idiot. You don't know anything about Christ Jesus. You don't know anything about the one that was anointed in oil, and we're supposed to be having extra oil and have our lamps trimmed and be burning bright with our loins girded in his service, following after him, conforming to his image. So that doesn't mean you get to sit down and just give a driver's license to your road grader and let him extort you because you're afraid of him. You're more afraid of losing your fucking life at the threat of a gun than you are standing up to this tyrant to be Christ-like. You're what is called a bootlicker. You're a jackboot thug licker is what you are. You're a pig licker. You support this government, people in government. So I'm calling it as it is. You understand? I'm not gonna stand by and allow to be in this. If they will let me go, I'll probably shut the fuck up quite about it. I won't get worse if I leave here. I'll probably be better if I can just get out of here. But if I've been in confines and I'm restrained, I told everybody in the fucking COVID, Donald Trump's going to build this fucking wall, and you dumb fucks are all worried about these people coming in here. They're not going to let your dumb ass out of here. Oh my God, Tracy, everything you say, why do you have to say the opposite of everybody? It's like everything you say is the opposite. Yeah, whatever you see on fucking the public television, the lamestream media, flip the script. Flip the script on it because they're telling you the opposite. They're going to tell you the opposite. The Patriot Act, that's the most unpatriotic fucking act ever passed. See, I'll just start with that. That's the first one that came to my head. That's a prime example. Nothing they do, they say just think the complete opposite. So I guarantee you this is just getting started. So as soon as I can get the fuck out of this country, I'm leaving. This is not a safe country. I don't care if I'm under the threat of the gun on the other side of the gun. I'll take the fucking risk at this point because I know all these other nations that these dumb fucking Americans forget about is that they haven't been on the other threat of the gun. The Navy, the Air Force, the Marine, these executive fucking orders, these tariffs. Imagine being somebody's an American right now. Fuck America, man. Fuck this country. I hate this country so fucking much. People have forgotten for all these years that we have gone around and just allowed these Congress and said to just do whatever the fuck they want, usurp the Constitution and just extort the fuck out of everybody using our military. Going in and extorting their resources by inflating their fucking currency and making our dollar worth anything so they pay for that and then we collect up all their fucking resources. This is what we do. We co-op because we are a co-op or corporation. We co-op everybody. We have 1,000 fucking military bases in all 180 countries. We're good at doing that, okay? By the threat of a fucking gun. They do it here in America. You don't listen to us. We got men with guns that'll put you in a fucking rape cage if you don't listen to our laws. So fuck this country. I'll be so much better than when I get out of here. I'd rather be on the other threat of that gun. I already am here. What the fuck is it different? I don't even see how people in this fucking country think this place is safe right now. This is probably the most unsafe place to be on the whole wide fucking world right now, right here in America. That's why I say, come on, make me a domestic homegrown terrorist. Send me to the Venezuela's prisons. I'll do a couple years out there and fuck it. I'll start with Venezuela. It's fine with me. I'd love to be in Venezuela right now. Fucking, you ever seen their food? Wow. Beautiful people. The Venezuelan people are amazing. You know what I'm saying? Amazing people, brothers, sisters. Do you know how many places you could go outside America with your American money on Social Security? And I don't get none of it. I'm a veteran. I get no veterans disability benefits. I got an honorable fucking discharge. I have never been to the VA. Okay? Not once. I don't even get a benefit. I don't get separation pay. I pay fucking Social Security. I joined the military at 17 fucking years old. I had a job at 15. I was paying taxes, Social Security at 15 years old. And when I went and fought Social Security for 7 years, and people go get it, Tracy, fuck you. I fought him. I don't want it. I'm going to make my own way. I don't need that shit. I'll save it for when I get older. I don't need it. You're fucked up. Do your back, and you broke your back, and you got a kid, and you don't get any. You're a single dad, man. You don't get nothing, no benefits, no nothing. You go get that Social Security. I know you're just stop being so. 7 years, I told everybody, fuck off. And then I fought him for 7 years. You know what resulted in that? Nothing. I wasted 7 fucking years of my life for nothing, to be denied. And I was a single dad, no child support, no benefit, nothing at the time. I could eat, and I said, I don't want a fucking check. I'm not asking you for a check every month. Take that check and give it to somebody else. I want the fucking money I paid into this system. Give me what is mine. But they denied me. So I don't get any fucking money. Everything I have to work for. Everybody steals everything I have. You know what I'm saying? So you're not Christ-like unless you stand up to this tyrannical government. And you're not. And I rebuke you with this light. So that's what Christ did. Not only did they throw him in jail, which he was jailed. So you're not Christ-like unless you've been to jail. Fuck you, you fucking idiot. There's my 2 witnesses. They threw him in jail. You've been in jail for standing up to the law, then you're not Christ-like. You're a piece of shit. Lay down. You're a little fucking bitch. You're like every woman I've ever got on her back. She was fucked. You got no kick and you roll over like a dog, right? Or maybe like a turtle. You get on your back and you're fucked once again. That's you. You got no kick, no fucking nothing in you. You're a lay down. Get it? You're fucking lay down. You just get fucked every time. You don't care. You don't even wiggle. I want to see you wiggle it just a little bit. Seriously, you're like a bump on a fucking log, man. Go hug a tree or something. Go somewhere else. You're not Christ-like unless you get thrown in jail. They threw him in jail. If somebody wanted, hey, does anybody want to put holes in you? You're not Christ-like unless somebody wants to put holes in you, peg you, stake you to a stock, right? Peg you to a yoke. Does anybody want to hang you from a tree, put holes in you, stab you, bloodlet you like you're some kind of meal they were going to eat and get all the blood out of you before they eat you, hang you up there, bleed you out, bloodlet you? Does anybody want to bloodlet you? Then you're not Christ-like. How about this? Do they want to kill you? Do they want to kill you? Then you're not Christ-like if nobody wants to kill you. So get the fuck out of my live stream. Don't come back here ever again until you're willing to stand up for this law. And we're not under the law, remember? That's why we stand up to it, because we're not under it. And he'll protect us. He will cover our sins of this world. And no matter if our body suffers, he will. Remember? He paid that price. And your reward is for suffering. That's where your reward is. The more you suffer, the larger your reward if you ain't figured it out. So try to remember that. So if you're not being thrown in jail, or not literally, brothers, sisters, how about your family imprisons you? Okay, don't take that literally. But yes, in America, I'm telling you, you better stand the fuck up to this corporation. All you other people, you've been under the threat of the gun. Be careful with your governments, but point out this apostasy beast system, the one that's enslaving all the nations, the corporation America. That's how comforted you Americans are. And I have that too, but I actually think I'll feel so much better outside this country. I'm not worried about America when I leave America. I actually cannot wait to get the fuck out of here. It will actually help me to stop making this a priority, because it is. I have to call it out. Do not partake in unfruitful works of darkness. Rebuke them. Put the light on them is what Paul says. So this is what we do, because this was what Christ did. So if you say somebody that knows they love Jesus, look at their life. Are they standing up to perversion of bad doctrine, bad law, twisting and changing? If they're just going along, then they just love their life. They're lovers of self. Their agape is pornea. It says that in the end of the days, their agape will be pornea. They'll be lovers of self. So, okay. Well, Connection, you got to do it up there too, because you have an absolutely fucking tyrannical government. I fucking hate the Canadian government so much. what they did during the protest, during the standoff, literally went in and stole everybody's fucking money. I hate fucking America so much because they didn't say anything about what happened to my Canadian brothers and sisters to the north during that whole "we're not doing the face diaper, we're drivers," and I had a CDL, whatever. And they weren't violent. There was no violence on any of that. And they went in and were violent with these people, and then took their fucking kids from them. And if you supported this, peaceful, protest, they had that right. They weren't being violent, and they went in. And if like if Stoner was part of that and he was in one of those truckers and I gave him $5 on his Cash App or something, the government came and drained all my fucking money out of my account. So fuck Trudeau, fuck the Canadian government, pieces of shit. Don't fuck. Look, it's more for gold up there. You talk about how would you only have $3 trillion in debt? You know what I'm saying? And your fucking money is way more inflated than ours because they're fucking tyrants, because they're scam artists like the Washington district criminals down here too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is bullshit. I hate the Canadian government so much. They're tyrannical government. All of it. Parliament over there, UK, all the EU, fuck Russia, fucking Vladimir Putin's a piece of shit, telling his people they can't church like what we're doing now. You could only do this in the confines of an actual church. All of them. They're all fucking tyrants. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they will. It's because it's a shadow ban channel accountability. They do that. This is probably one of the most heavily shadow banned channels on YouTube. It really is, because we really bring out, like I said, as of right now, I'm going to go, guys, but please remember, you are in a literal World War III right now. Just because there's bombs not falling in your backyard doesn't mean that this is not war. Okay, wars in America have never started outside our borders with any bombs falling. They always start just like World War II, and they're replaying this World War II as a World War III ritual with tariffs. That's what we did. We embargoed Japan, where we cut them off, their supply chain. They didn't have any choice, brothers and sisters, but to go in and do what they did. And remember, the commander in the Japanese said, well, we can't go to the mainland. There's an American behind every blade of grass with a gun. That's why they did Pearl Harbor. And then came Nagasaki, first Hiroshima, obviously, and then Nagasaki, right? What day was Hiroshima, brothers and sisters? We've seen everything. We've seen everything but those two events. They just sunk that boat, guys, too. That yacht with that freaking whatever, that funnel out there with all those important people on it, and they're doing this to it. They compared Russia and Ukraine to Pearl Harbor, and then they also compared Elon Musk talked about a Pearl Harbor. So we've already seen the Pearl Harbor ritual. They've already done these sinking of these boats, okay? And you're going to see more and more of that, okay, as this goes along, okay? But the final one is going to end up with Hiroshima. So what date did they do Hiroshima? Yep, remember the sign of Jonah every day. Thank you. Excellent. Thank you for that connection. What day did they decide they were going to use an atomic bomb on Hiroshima? Nothing new under the sun. Like in the book of Psalms. It's quiet, but it speaks volumes, doesn't it? The firmament tells us these things. So what day in history did we use an atomic bomb on Hiroshima? I'm not saying that they're going to do that again, but sometimes they follow the same ritualistic codes. Anybody remember? No, it wasn't December 7th. Thanks for your answer. If you get it wrong, it's okay. It's not a big deal. But what was the date that we decided to use an atomic bomb on Hiroshima? Yeah, no worries. No worries. Cool. No worries. It's all right. At least we're in that time frame. We understand. August 8th. Thank you. August 8th, guys. So I'm not saying anything's going to happen on August 8th, but there is a high probability this is how I do things. I don't make predictions. I say, well, this is something, this date is a date you can look at. I'm not saying that it's going to happen. I just want you to look at this date. So it was the 8th. It was the 8th, guys. So nice. Good stuff. I like that accountability because I was actually a traffic crash reconstructionist. So my brain was certified, at 19, and as an investigator backwards. You work at the scene of a traffic crash in reverse. So the brain does really well if you can do something like that. You'll probably be good at playing chess, 5D life, it's called, right? Prognosko is the Greek word to have foreknowledge of. You see it coming like a sign that wavy road up ahead. It gives you a sign. A horn is a trumpet. It gives you, it's a message. So thanks for coming in. I'm glad you came in. I hope that your shares will get out there. There's content out here on this channel that could produce some of the best auditor content ever. I mean, they really encroached on my rights. If people want to see what it's like for civil rights violations, my Second Amendment obviously has been taken from me illegally. Now I found out too, what they've done is, it's not right. It is what it is. They violated my Fifth Amendment right. Obviously, my Miranda rights, inadequate counsel. They didn't even Mirandize me. My Sixth Amendment, fair, speedy trial, call witness in my favor. My Eighth Amendment, my 14th Amendment, my, due process, cruel and unusual punishment. And I have all the evidence to prove it. It's not like, if you can get this stuff out, it only sometimes takes just one person to get it to the right person, and then it'll spread like wildfire. So I know if these auditors could pick up the SWAT raid, that should open up the can. Just the SWAT raid should open up. I should be getting emails from auditors every day wanting to continue to cover this content and expose other things. There are more people, I could tell you. You can come out here to this valley and audit these public, for their stories, and they would give you horror stories. And this isn't the only town that it happens. You know what I'm saying? But I'll tell you what, there are, in this case, it's mind numbing what they have been able to get away with. So the only right that I really have left right now, until I can get my rights returned to me, is my First Amendment right. So I'm going to continue to use that right as an auditor, and my First Amendment right to speak up, use my right of free speech. It's the only free that we have now, and or at least I do at this point. So I need to use it. Otherwise, I think I'll lose it. So, yeah, if you can get this out, share the content from the playlist on the SWAT raid. And then I do believe, again, that if somebody would come talk to me about this last court date, that I need that documented. I need one of these auditors to document it. Something like Lackluster, he'd be a good auditor for something. He goes in good detail with the violations, and just all there's good, there's good auditors out there, and I'd love for them to carry the content. This is something that I do believe that there's so much that could be pulled from this channel that it would show the American public how horrible of a country that and how horrible they treat veterans, because they don't care about me at all as a veteran. I think actually why they treated me even worse, and they treated me so poorly, is because I am a veteran and I stand up for the right of the people, and I'm a threat to them because I do. So, okay, let's end it there, brothers, sisters. Thanks. We pushed over a little bit, but that's all right. No worries. Love you. Thanks for all your time. Again, share this content to any platform. If you want to support the ministry, there's links in the description. We even got a couple years ago, I think it's been a couple years, somebody gave a Bitcoin PayPal if you have it, but don't give if you don't have abundance. Updates with your new just the case is just still open. You know what I'm saying? So the attorney, without giving too much disclosing, he's found a lot of holes already in the story without even getting the discovery. Not just the case. So please be prepared, brothers, sisters, for anything. And I can't do anything else in my case right now other than letting the attorney. He's $500 an hour, guys. So it costs me my precious metals, all my gold, gone, man. That's crazy. I've never had that much gold, but I worked my ass off for 15 months to obtain it, and it took a lot of work to get it. So it's going to be worth so much more later. But it is what it is. If it helps find my son and daughter, that's all I care about. I don't really care what happens to me. Whatever happens to me is going to happen. Whatever happens to my son and daughter is going to happen. But I need to die trying. I need to at least continue this effort. Just because your kids turn 18 doesn't mean that you're done being a parent. So they're both grown adults, but they need somebody to advocate for them, and I'm the only person. There's nobody, his mom, nobody, their family. So I'm glad that I can stay upright. If I go to jail or something, that's why I've tried to keep myself out of jail, and went ahead and put up all the ministry money to pay for my legal counsel. Remember, I avoided for 15 months almost, and tried to let the system use. Why should I pay? They're the ones who ruin everything. They're the ones who destroyed this property and assaulted and battered me and my daughter, my son. Why would I have to pay? But that's just the way the system works. So I was 6 days away from going to jail, and I wouldn't be right here today, and I wouldn't be able to help my son inside jail. So I had to do it. So if you want to, like I said, make a donation to me, you can, but I don't care. I don't really have anything else to do in this lifetime other than serve the ministry. So thanks for being a part of it. And you don't have to make a tithe monetarily to be a part of this ministry. Know that. Just because I mentioned a monetary tithe does not require tithe of money. Actually, soon, hopefully, we'll tithe food. But time is what I can't, thank you enough for, because it's more valuable than money. Time is way, way. Would you rather have an abundance of time so we could do what you want, or an abundance of money so you can buy your happiness? I take time every single day, and actually took time and traded the time for knowledge. So I didn't learn what I learned overnight. It took decades of me studying. So thanks for sharing with me, because it's hard to hold in this knowledge and not want to share it with others. And there is a large, substantially more percentage of what I learned from other people. I didn't figure it out on my own, although have an inquisitive mind, and can create and investigate and put things together. And, a majority of what I learned is from other people. So thanks for being a part of that too. Like I said, I've always explained that comment section is where it's at. So thanks for being in the comment section. I'm just one of the 21,000, people in this live stream, in this ministry. So I don't make the channel. We as a whole make this channel of the whole. And he's the head, though. Remember that. Father's the head. Shiloh's the head. He's the one who runs this show in here. He's the wind and the sails. So, okay. If you want to leave a comment after the video, that's another great way to tithe. Share the content. That's another way to tithe. Thumbs up. Thanks for those. That's a tithe. So thanks for your tithe of time more than anything, because you can't get it back. You can't print it. You can't print what you already gave me. So, and you can't take it back. So it's more valuable than any kind of precious metals or anything that you can, give them out as a monetary value. So your time is more valuable to me. Thank you for that. Okay, brothers, sisters, Pastor Revelation, Pastor Apocalypse. Whoa.